Hello everybody, this is Miss Buchanan. This is my attempt at making a video reading a story. And I'm actually in my garage because my TV's on, everyone's in their rooms, and I know if I started reading a story in the middle of my house, they would all be like, "What are you doing?" So I decided to come to the garage. This is Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues. And I've never read a story on a video, so let's see if I can figure out the best way to do it. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been at the beach, surf and sun, and tons of fun. So we've already learned what characters are, so we know right now that Pete and his friends are the characters. And I bet you can guess the setting. Tell whoever's listening with you what the setting is. Setting is where and when the story happens, so it's happening at the beach or at the ocean at night, because it says, "But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. Pete had an idea." So their picture is showing that he has an idea. Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy. Pete's place, let's go. The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say good night. I predict they're going to do something crazy and not go to sleep. What do you think? On went the pajamas and out went the light. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when, clap, clap, clap. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Grumpy Toad. I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Time to sleep. Pete tried again to catch some Z's when, rat-a-tat-tat. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Gus the platypus. I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Time to sleep. Can you tell someone what the problem is in this story? What is the problem that the animals are having? Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard... I think the problem is the animals keep doing things to keep Pete from sleeping. Munch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch. It was Alligator. He was always up for eating. What could Pete do? All the clapping, rat-a-tatting, and munching was giving him the bedtime blues. Pete had a groovy idea. So we know his problem is all that noise was keeping him awake. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read, first to himself and then to the gang. So, Pete's solving the problem. How is he solving the problem of all the noise? Pete noticed it was finally quiet. No more clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. So he solved the problem by reading a story. They all settled down. No one made a sound. Can't turn the page here. Is it a thick page? Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night, sleep tight. Time to catch some Z's. I noticed that the light is shining on the book, so I'll hold it a different way next time I read a story. I just thought I would try it. laying down on the ground, laying the book on the ground and then holding the camera above it, but it doesn't work well because the light is shining. Tomorrow was another day for surfing sun and tons of fun. So that's the end, and we have learned this year that we can not just tell the character the setting, the problem, and solution, but we can describe them. So tell your mom or dad or brother or sister, whoever you're with, tell them some words that describe Pete the cat, that tell them about Pete the cat. All right, see you next time.